This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Hey, everybody.
Good morning.
We had a fair bit of football on today, Sean.
Nat, we had the governor come in. Always
Yes.
great to talk to Jeremy McGovern, isn't it?
What about the gigantic Sean Darcy?
Yeah, that's not bad either as well.
Good new dog.
We discussed that room or area that you never go in, what you found. And during this exploration, you'll discover how many lawnmowers is too many lawnmowers.
There's a definite number. And Peter Helliar joins us to find out what he did on holidays and various other things.
This is Nathan, Nat and Sean.
On Nova 937.
6x6, Nathan and Sean. Happy Friday, friends.
Oh,
Yeah,
We've
come
made
on.
it. This felt like a long week.
you know what? We have earned this.
Yeah,
We
haven't
have.
If you're listening and this is the last day of work for you for the week as well, you've earned it. This was a long one this week.
You bought the bling today, Nat.
What do you
Little
mean?
bit
Yeah,
of
she's
faux
wearing,
fur.
she's wearing, nah, it's real.
we?
She's
Yeah.
wearing real fur.
Like a black bear, Nat.
I killed some
Wrestled it to the
synthetics.
ground.
They're not.
Obviously.
There's about 40 black kittens there, Sean. Kittens.
That's a whole lot of bad luck, mate.
Well, it was bad luck for them when they crossed me. That's for sure.
That'll learn 'em.
So have you been
they're
a pimp
soft.
for long?
Very soft, these kittens.
The only problem is when she came in this morning trying to park that convertible Cadillac. It's got
I
that
mean-
long-ass thing.
Yeah. You just do what you do, you know.
Jumping up and down.
I'd love to see you in a car like that. Me and Nathan at the crosswalk. Beep, beep, beep.
I mean, this diamond in my front tooth is a nice touch, though, don't you think?
Absolutely. Did I tell you that time I invested in some greyhounds? Anyway, this is a real side moment, but we invested in these greyhounds. There's 7 of them born. Anyway, none of them can run properly, so they use them to do other things. Anyway, Murdoch Uni decided to use them in a dental range and, you know, in the veterinary things, and they put diamonds in some of their teeth to see how long they'd last.
This is a terrible story.
Sean, you cannot tell
They're
this
alive.
story.
So, they're alive. They're being used for experiments.
So we're not going to use them for racing, so we'll just whack a grill on these ones. Are you joking?
And you think that
You
is a
don't
good
see how
story?
bad that story
You think
is?
that's a good story to tell the world?
How about, here's a third option. How about giving them to a loving home? That'll take them to a park
Oh,
and
yeah,
let
that
them
would have
run.
happened too. But they would have a
Really?
great smile.
Mate, it sounds like they would have gone to the Bronx.
Oh, my God. And greyhound racing.
It's just my diamond
They're
story.
nice. Greyhounds are lovely
They
family
are.
pets.
My brother's got one. His family pet. They're great.
For great deals and cheeky getaways, whatif.com has just the place.
Yeah, winter hideaway is great, but bring on spring!
Jump on the What If app to book hotels, apartments, holiday rentals and more.
What if it's Aussie for travel?
New series of The Traitors is back Sunday night, 7:30 on Channel 10. And we got to catch up with Roger Corso, the host, the other day. Great news, everybody. Sunday, Channel 10,
yes.
7:30. The Traitors is back for another series, and the host with the most.
He's not just a normal host, Natalie.
No.
He puts on ye oldly timely
does.
breeches
Yes.
and riding boots.
Yes.
He commits to the role. Hello,
Roger
Roger
Corso.
Corsa.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hello, Rog.
Rog. Another season back.
Yeah. Season 2, bigger, better, shinier.
Yep.
Lots of backstabbing, lots of murders.
And you've got in a few familiar faces. I mean, Luke
Yeah, we
Token,
have.
who we all know very well here
Yes.
from Survivor.
Yes, he's a very good player. Outstanding. He's
Yes.
very outstanding. Oh, look, the intensity rises when you bring, can I say, career reality TV people.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's
Ash
the girl?
Pollard's
Ash
Pollard's
is
another one.
one,
She's
yes.
been on literally everything.
They know to bring their A game
Yeah.
from the first minute the cameras start rolling. Where some of the people who are TV virgins take
Yes.
a little bit of time to
They're a bit
to warm up.
starry-eyed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Straight away, if you like go into that and see that cast,
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, the other players straight away, you would go automatically. It's going to be either Luke Toki's going to be a traitor, even though that's
sure.
really obvious,
For sure.
Yes.
or it's going to be Ash Pollard because those two are very divisive.
Yes.
So straight away, I would always put those two in the mix.
You'll have to find out.
Okay.
You'll have to tune in, but big personalities, absolutely. In fact, some of the other contestants were starstruck when they all
Yes.
sort of meet at the hotel. They were sort of, a bit
wide-eyed.
lost for words.
Tell you what, I cannot recognise one influencer though. You know when there's this new wave
there's a
of
couple of them
and they're
there.
like, and they say like, oh, there's so and so celebrity. It's like, no, I've never seen a thing of you.
but perhaps we're a different demo.
I know.
was
But when
one
their
guy.
lead-in is how many
They might be a
followers
tad
they've got.
younger.
It's like,
I don't know what you're talking about. It's like, oh, young Roger, I'm 25. I have seen a little bit of the first episode, and it is funny how you acknowledging your lack of awards that you've won.
Because
your time
Because
is
Guyton Grantley, of course, is one of them.
Grantley, yeah.
My old mate, who was
Yes.
I was an underbelly with, and he played, famously played Carl Williams, and I played the forgettable Copper. So he won lots of awards, and I was there to cheer him on.
Yes.
Through all of those awards ceremonies.
and you didn't.
Kind
But
of.
right now, who's laughing? You're hosting. He's playing.
Oh, he's doing all right.
No, he's doing. Okay, he's great.
I love that he actually does the voiceovers on the promos, which is pretty funny.
So, he's everywhere.
Roger, special birthday this year?
For me, I did. I turned the 50. Yes, so I've. There's certain. Your doctor rings up and asks you to come in.
Oh,
and then,
sorry, the doctor.
Yeah, no, my personal doctor, and he sat me down. He goes, "This is where I stretch the friendship," and there's a few tests he wants me to do, which were a bit of a shock.
Yeah, fingers go up places they shouldn't go, should they?
Even the government steps in and sends you the bowel cancer test.
Yeah, that's at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah.
Or piles, even.
No, the piles is another test.
Okay.
So, Rog, you're still active. Just before I came in, you were talking about playing old man's footy. So, are you?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I play back in Sydney. I play in the Masters League, which is the over 40s.
It's so sad to know that is called Masters.
That's called Masters. Yeah, so we've done all right. We've won 3 premierships in a row. I was part of 2 of them. I managed to pull my hammy last year's game before we got on the ground, and only made it into the last quarter. I still got a medal.
How did you do that?
I was overstretched by the trainer.
I didn't know that
And
could
it went
happen.
ping like a piano wire. I said, mate, I'm not a effing ballerina. And he's like,
And he's like, "You're right.
you're right, ping." And but we just scraped home. But running around again, and we got a semi-final on the weekend, and then it's my daughter's talking about big birthdays. My daughter's 21st is that night.
Oh, you're rolling straight into it.
And I have to cut. We're a 3:00 game, so I may come with a broken arm or nose or something.
Yes.
So,
what position do you play?
On the forward flank.
Goal sneak.
Yeah, bombing into the tall guys.
Do people know that there's sort of a hands off the actor's face rule?
Yeah.
Oh, there's no touching the face.
I mean, have a look at this thing.
Which they ignore. No, there's a few. If you can't keep up, you swing. You swing your arm. There's a few coat hangers going around.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So Roger Course is playing in this competition. Is there anyone else of note that you know?
Not from my sort of game, but there's a few sort of footy players. There's some handy guys that sort of played Swans and GWS seconds and so.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So. And you are allowed a couple of guys in between 35 and 40, the youngins, the whippersnappers.
Probably put a call out to Buddy Franklin.
We're only allowed three, right?
Yeah, right.
And then when they get on the ground, they just run. I hate them.
Roger, I remember years ago I was asked to go down and join our local team, Freo Phantoms, Nat, and when they said,
The Freo Phantoms because they're nearly dead.
they said to me, "Oh, it's the Masters League," and it just cut me down.
Oh,
I was
it's,
thinking,
it's mean, isn't it? It's mean.
Am I in that age? Oh, yeah, no, you can play.
But at
You're in the
least
age
they're
category.
acknowledging you're a master of the art, if you want to look at it that way.
No, I don't think anyone thought that. But the other thing was, I went down, I was actually walking the dog, and all the training was happening. There was a massive group of people, part of the Masters gig down there. There was like 70 blokes out there, and I spoke to one of the guys, I said, "Mate, I can't believe how many guys have turned up to play this Masters thing." And he goes, "Mate, we're only here to get away from our wives." I went, "See you next week."
Is that accurate?
No, not at all. Is this getting back to Sydney?
No, these aren't even on, Roger. This is just all for show. Anyway, well, the Traders has returned.
Yes. Sunday, 7:30 on Channel 10.
Yes.
Check out Roger's
And
fine work. Can wear a flat cap like nobody
Like we
else.
said, he doesn't just host, he takes on a character.
It's like the person at the murder mystery night taking it too seriously.
They didn't ask me to do it. I just added it myself.
Yeah. They're like, tone it down, Rog. Come on. No, it's awesome. Thank you so much.
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat, and Sean.
This guy has taken to a community Facebook page in the ACT because he was confused about something that he found in his mother's shed.
I love how he's put it out to the greater wisdom of his community.
I'll show you a picture of it, guys. It looks like a basketball.
Yes.
But it's grey. It looks like someone's paper mache'd.
Yes.
In some grey sort of
Or perhaps with
paper.
mud. Yes.
around a basketball.
Yeah, that looks
and then
that's
it looks
accurate.
like something's broken out of it.
Yes, it's got an opening, and there's a broomstick
There's
going
a broomstick going into it. So it was a bit weird. And the guy was like, I've never seen anything like this before. It's kind of creeping me out. He explained the size of a basketball. Someone's put a lot of effort into it, and they seem to access it along a broomstick, like a bridge. He said, I haven't been close enough to see if there's anything in it. I hope it's moved on.
I hope it's moved on. Yeah.
It's made out of some grey organic material, like someone's something regurgitated. I'm assuming it's some kind of mammal.
Okay.
Mammal.
And I don't think it's any kind of insect, like wasp or anything like that. He said possums, and maybe it could be possums. He didn't know.
Possums are doing paper mache in his mum's shed.
He
That's
doesn't,
what he
Natalie.
thought?
He's
Okay.
confused.
Okay.
So Julian from Pest to Kill, he ended up having a look at it and said, no, that is a European wasp nest. He said the biggest one he's ever seen is the size of a football.
Oh, and this is bigger.
And he said this one is bigger.
Easily
And that's
twice the
why
size.
the guy didn't think it was a wasp nest, because they've never seen one this
That big.
before.
Wow.
But my thing with that is, how long has it been since anyone's gone in that shed?
Clearly a while.
That there can be a basketball-sized wasp nest that's been growing and created in there in that time.
Yeah, you don't do it over
because they don't go over. They
24-hour
don't go over overnight, do they?
No, and I've seen like a wasp nest that's like literally smaller than
Yeah.
a fist. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're often very small, and so over time, the time taken to build that would have been enormous.
Yes, unbelievable.
So his mother hasn't been out to that shed
obviously not
for a long
Well, because
time.
he discovered it. He's
Is
gone
his
out
mum
there and
okay,
he's-
or did she
What? Oh, his
get
mother
stung
was
to death by wasps?
Well, yeah, she died, but we're not talking about that part. We're talking about this fun bit.
I know. This is
No,
next one.
she's alive. I don't know, to be honest. I think she's doing
Irrelevant.
well.
It's irrelevant to the story.
Irrelevant. The mother's irrelevant. Say my I never go down to my storeroom really ever,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know what's going on in there. Do you know that there's some people that go and check out their storerooms or their sheds and they haven't been there for a
What,
while, and they
just go and
find out
look at
that
them?
somebody's been living in there.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, you always read about those
Like for
stories.
you to not have gone there enough for someone to have moved in.
Yes.
My dad has two sheds at his house. One is a real big one, and the other one is bigger than a normal, like he's got a brewer
Bigger than
property.
your average shed.
Bigger than your average shed. The one with the bigger than the average shed hasn't been used for a while. The door's been down. From the outside, sometimes you can look underneath it and it looks like it's just full of stuff. So
Yeah.
one day my brothers said, we need to get over there and move some of the shit out for Dad and
Yeah.
see what's
Yeah.
in there and, clean stuff up. I didn't want to go and do that because, number one, I was thinking about this. As soon as we open that roll door, there's going to be tiger snakes just going.
Flinging at your head. That would be my concern. Yeah.
Every time we were moving stuff, I was moving stuff with the broom, and I was just,
Yeah.
just
Of
sweeping that
course,
away.
you don't know what's
I
in
shit
there.
myself.
It's
Yeah,
as scary as
absolutely.
pinata.
Yeah, and then anyway, we started moving everything out, and we got to a point where we found a Pee-wee 50 in there. Now,
A little
Pee-wee 50 is a
motorbike.
little motorbike.
Who's
The kids
it?
could be zinging around in.
So where did it come from?
He must have picked it up from one of the neighbours over the journey. That
And just shoved
handed
it in
to
the
Dad
shed.
for the grandkids when they're old enough.
So your dad didn't remember it was in there either? No one knew that there was a
one knew.
Pee-wee.
No one knew.
He Brian Morrised it. He put it
he
in the
did.
shed and never
Jeez,
used it.
mate. That's
He hadn't been
impressive.
in, no one had been in for years.
So where'd it go? Where'd the Pee-wee go?
My brother's father-in-law, Chris, he tried to get it going because he's one of those blokes who can...
He's a man that can fix things.
Yes, yeah. And it lasted for, I don't know, just one or two goes, I think.
Oh, that would have been a glorious one or two goes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we want to talk about this, guys. There's a room or an area, maybe it's the shed, but you haven't been in there for ages, right? What'd you find in there? Was it something that grew? Or was it a pipe that burst that you never knew about?
Was it a motorbike that you
Was
didn't
it
know
a
you had?
motorbike?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, we're going to give somebody $300 to spend at the old courthouse in Fremantle. You can enjoy a traditional Sunday roast that apparently they're very well known.
Yes, very well known
That
for
happens every week at the old courthouse in Freo. But we
Beautiful.
are talking about that room or that area or that shed. You haven't been in there for ages. What did you discover when you finally went in? Good morning, Alana.
Good morning.
Hi,
Alana.
All right, so what was the room?
So it wasn't a room. My partner's uncle is just doing up his bathroom.
Yep.
He knocked down one wall and found at least 3 bodies of a snake, or 3 snakes, 3 very large lizards, and a skeleton of something else, maybe a possum.
So
they
you
were
take
all-
snake skins,
They
by
were
the
all
way?
dead, were they? Not
They
live.
were all dead.
So it seems like his walls were insulated by a pet cemetery.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is so
Yes.
shocking. Do you know what?
I wrote it down.
None of us know what's in those
No,
in
exactly.
anyone's walls. But mine are double bricks and quite
Yes.
new, so I'm guessing there's nothing in my walls.
Mine are
There would-
limestone, so there's
There'd be
nothing.
stuff. I reckon there'd be.
No, as in solid
No,
limestone.
but under your house there'd be
Oh,
some
under the
stuff.
house,
Oh,
yeah, there
Natalie,
is.
I would never go under there.
No,
your
no.
house.
Or
There'd
the
be like,
roof. The roof is horrific.
There'd be the bodies back from the 1800s under your house.
I hope so.
My mum and dad will have snakes in their walls. I remember in the bath, the wash house.
Yes.
The door, a couple of times there's been snakes get into that area
Yeah.
because the door is out to the backyard, and the idea is that we just lock them in there.
Oh, okay. Until that, and what just...
Wait there, wait.
A couple of times they've knocked a few down. Obviously, they found them and took them back out. The other times there's a drain there. There's a drain there.
So now your drains are full of...
Your drains are
snakes.
full of snakes.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, if the wall was knocked down, there'd be snakes in there. 100%.
Jeez, if I'm coming around your house and getting a tap of water, a glass of water out of the tap, I'm keeping my eye on the nozzle.
I mean, well, how's Sue doing the washing? It's probably a bigger concern.
She just plows on.
Thanks, Alana. Rose in Singleton, hello.
Hi. Hi, morning,
Hi,
guys.
Ro.
Hi,
What have you got
Ro.
for us?
So my brother, he bought the house next door to my parents growing up. And he lived there for a few years, and after a few years, he decided to knock it down. And when he knocked it down, underneath the house that was already there was pretty much a shed and like everything that used to be in another house. So there was furniture, boxes of jewellery, power tools, like everything that you could ever think of was underneath.
Was
the
under the
that was
house.
already-
So underneath the
Yeah.
house was a shed full of stuff.
Yeah.
That is
So,
the
like,
best thing
it's pretty
ever.
So it's pretty much like somebody had lived there and then they had buried everything that they owned and
Yes.
built another house.
Built a house on top of it.
Really?
There's so many questions.
Oh my
what a
God!
puzzle.
So it's like a time capsule
Yes.
that they just
Yeah.
sealed under dirt.
Yeah,
was there
pretty
anything?
much.
Was there anything good in there, or was it just all just junk?
Most of it was junk, but there was there was boxes of money, like really old money.
Wow.
The people that lived there previously, they weren't from Australia. I think I don't know where they were. We were pretty young when my brother bought that house. But there was jewellery that my brother still has today,
wow.
like heaps and heaps of jewellery.
Yes.
But most of the stuff he just dumped wasn't worth anything.
Yeah.
Can I just say, what a score for your brother buying a house but actually getting two?
Yes, that's right.
Imagine,
Yeah,
I wonder how many
yeah.
others have got a house under a house.
Yeah, that we just don't know about.
Everyone, get a shovel today.
Yep.
Start digging.
Dig,
You might have
dig,
another 3x2 underneath you.
Thanks,
rent that out.
Ro.
Oh.
In this
Oh,
housing
mate,
crisis.
I'll rent it out. People can live under me.
Heather's in Murdoch. Hello.
Hey guys, lovely show.
Heather, did you go into a shed?
Well, my dad passed away, and they've got a property down in Hopetown, ex-Kalgoorlie people.
Yes.
And he had 5 sheds, and so all the grandkids went down and cleaned out the sheds and found 13 rakes and 27 lawnmowers and a beehive in the ceiling of the house that took up over 7 metres.
Oh, my Lord!
Could you smell the honey? Like, did it smell sweet?
Well, no, it just kind of freaked my mum out a little
Yeah,
bit. But, and it took them 4 weeks to clean out the sheds.
4 weeks.
27 lawnmowers. Now, that's what he did for a
That
gig?
is too many.
Yeah, and here's the best part. He only ever used a ride-on lawnmower that had only 3 wheels, and he basically had to prop one up, and he'd walk it around anyway.
And
And
yeah,
meanwhile, there's 27 in the
there.
shed.
What was he collecting them for?
Well, we stopped
He's a
asking for a
Brian.
few years.
He's a Brian.
Sean,
No, you don't.
The answer's for later.
This is the thing, and this is why it confuses you. You don't have one of those people in your life.
No.
Remember, my father is the owner of 2 electric guitar amps. He does not
That's
have an
true.
electric guitar nor play it. We have 2 because they were on sale.
Yeah.
That's what it
and
comes
he's
down
obviously
to.
picked these up as bargains along the
Yep.
way and thought he might
Yep.
use them for parts.
What
I
about the
reckon.
whippersnipper? Before I got Dad the new one, the whippersnipper that I got,
Oh, yeah.
Dad got at the
Yep.
swap meet. The only way you could stop it from working was to pour the petrol out.
Or just
it
use
wouldn't
it until
stop.
there was no
Yeah.
petrol left. Thanks, Heather. That's a lot. That's a lot of lawnmowers.
It is.
officially.
$300 to spend at the old courthouse in Fremantle. Enjoy a traditional Sunday roast every week at the old courthouse in Fremantle. They were great, actually. Enjoyed them all. But I think her brother finding that shed underneath the house is really bloody
essentially a
interesting.
house under the house. It's
Never
amazing.
heard of anything like that.
Yeah, we love that.
Nathan, Nat and Sean in podcast form.
Nathan, Nat and Sean. No, it's not.
Are you joking?
So, Mal,
No, why?
Mal, our head chief engineer. What's your title? Technical wizard?
No.
Technical manager.
And he's the
Okay.
2IC when anyone when the big boss is away.
I am
he takes over the
enraged,
ship.
Malcolm.
So was I.
So the hot water's
But I'm
out.
not enraged enough to get it fixed.
These things take time. I've rung the plumber. They're coming.
That kettle is from the Titanic. Mate, like, it takes... Like, honestly, I cannot go out there and boil a kettle and get back within a song. Like, a 4-minute song, that kettle isn't done.
There is something about those, because they're quite an expensive kettle.
Morphy Richards.
No, isn't it a...
It's a Morphy.
Is it?
It's a Morphy. Or a Russell Hobbs.
Russell Hobbs.
Oh, well, they're
Russell
the same
Hobbs.
thing.
Yeah, so it's a Russell Hobbs, and
Hobbs.
they take their time.
It's not a smeg, mate.
I think
they're really
the
caring
problem
about
is when he's
boiling
getting
water.
the kindling before to start the fire to put it on.
exactly.
That's the
Malcolm,
problem.
I am bringing that kettle up here and plugging it into this studio so I can make my cup of tea up here, please. Thank you. Will you
But
get me a
you
bucket of water?
You
for
still have to go to the kitchen to get the water.
No,
you go to the well.
Will you bring me the kettle and a bucket of water,
No,
please?
the only thing
What?
sadder than that is that the studio is older than the kettle, and
And we just blow the studio up when we plug it in.
I wouldn't trust them both.
Oh, well,
in the
then
same
I'm
room.
definitely getting the kettle.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast. Last quarter. Sensational play.
Let's hear it for the best seats in the house with Bankwest.
All right, so we've investigated.
Yeah.
Up for grabs, Premium Bankwest best seats to Freo versus Port Adelaide next Sunday, the 20th of August, 2:40 bounce down.
But to get there, you need to win the last quarter, as we know.
How do you win the last quarter?
Well, you win the last quarter. Does Denise know in Dutch, though, Nath?
Hello, Denise.
Hello.
Denise,
Welcome to the last quarter.
thank you so much for joining us. Denise, how do you win the last quarter?
I win the last quarter.
That'd do it.
You're up against Alicia in quarter one. Hello, Alicia.
Hello.
Alicia, Denise has got a plan. How would you win the last quarter?
I'll win the last quarter.
Okay, that's going to do it.
Sure.
Couple of geniuses.
I know.
That's what I think.
But first you've got to get through the first quarter. That's the first step.
What, until you get to the last quarter?
That's right.
You've lost me.
We're going to ask you a question. If you think you know the answer, buzz in with your name. If you get it right, you're through to the second quarter. You get it wrong, your opponent is through to the second quarter. There's a lot riding on this. Let's test your buzzers. Denise?
Denise.
Alicia?
Alicia.
Working well. First quarter question.
Singing sensation Lizzo is currently facing a scandal involving an alleged incident with which piece of fruit?
Denise.
Yes, Denise?
A banana.
Yes, Denise. You're through to the second quarter.
It's a
cucumber,
wonderful
wasn't it?
serving suggestion.
Yeah, that's right.
A banana split.
In the second quarter, Denise, you're going to face off with Miri from Banksia Grove. Good morning, Miri.
Good morning.
Hi, Miri. Do you know how to win the last quarter, Miri?
You last into the last quarter.
No.
No.
Can you remind Alicia, Denise, how you win the last
Mary.
quarter, please? Oh, Mary, sorry.
Mary.
How do
I win the last quarter.
Oh.
Denise wins it. That's right. Okay, Miri, let's test your buzzer. Miri?
Mary.
Bit of a shaky
We're
start for
away.
Mary.
We're
Second
away.
quarter question of the last quarter. Who is the tallest player out of Freo Dockers ruckman Sean Darcy and fellow ruckman Luke Jackson?
Mary.
Miri?
Luke Jackson.
Luke Jackson is officially
Incorrect.
200 centimetres. Sean Darcy, 203.
Denise, you're through to the third quarter, where you're going to be
Thank
taking
you.
on Justine from Canning Vale. Good morning, Justine.
Good morning.
Hi, Justine. Do you know how to win the last quarter, Justine?
You win the last quarter.
Yeah, Justine knows. Justine's a smart
Pretty
soul.
easy.
Earth,
Pretty
Justine.
All right, Justine, let's test your buzzer. Justine?
Justine.
Okay, here we go. It is the third quarter, and your question is this. Not counting jokers, how many cards are there in a standard deck of playing cards?
Justine.
Denise.
Justine?
52.
Justine's through to the last quarter, everybody. She's tipped Denise.
This is getting intense,
It is.
guys.
Justine, in the
Hey,
last
guys.
quarter, you are going to be facing off against Dave from Alkimos. Good morning, Dave.
Jeez, Dave.
Good morning, how are you?
How do you
Oh,
win the last
Dave.
quarter, Dave?
You win the last quarter.
Dave.
It's pretty easy, isn't it?
Dave, are you going to win the last quarter?
Oh, I hope so.
Justine, are you going to win the last quarter?
I am.
I am.
Oh, dude.
One of them's wrong.
It's a showdown.
Okay, let's test your buzzers. Dave?
Dave.
We'll test yours too because it's the last quarter. Justine?
Justine.
They're still working, everybody.
Sean McManus.
Last quarter question of the last quarter. David Koch is president of which AFL club?
Justine.
Justine.
No.
Collingwood.
Justine.
Justine, that's wrong.
Dave, do you know the answer?
I wish I did. No, I don't.
No, it's okay. You don't
Doesn't
need to.
matter,
You don't
because he's
need to
won.
because without you've done nothing, Dave, and you have won the last quarter.
That's right. The answer was Port Adelaide.
So I know.
Yeah.
So Dave, usually we say to people, "How do you win the last quarter?" They say by winning the last quarter. When we ask you, you say by doing nothing.
By not losing the last quarter. Dave, you're going to be seeing Kochie's boys take on the Freo Dockers. 2 premium backwest best seats. That's food and drinks included. Next Sunday, the 20th of August. All yours. You can wave
Wow.
to Kochie.
What a match.
How good's that?
I know. How good's that?
David
Well
Koch.
done.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast.
Jeremy McGoverney's in the house. And if you're wondering what we talk about when we're off air, the answer is Chinese restaurants.
Yes, we're just discovering a new one in the area because my parents go to Silver Horse, which is on Sackville Terrace, and because they're around the same area as you, and you've got a new one for us.
I don't think it's new. I think it's been there.
No, but
longer than I have.
from
yeah,
me.
Ocean Dragon.
Ocean Dragon.
Dragon, a dragon from the ocean.
Yeah.
Ocean Dragon. I said, is it new fancy wave of Chinese or is the old school, you know? And you said it's in between.
It's definitely fancy where it is for sure, but I think it's got these sort of old school sort of style.
So the location
Yeah,
is
so enough,
what you
enough MSG to keep you awake.
Because I love
Yeah, big
rough
time.
as guts Chinese.
Still going to get
You know
your
what I
prawn
mean?
toast and your prawn crackers and your spring rolls?
definitely. Prawn crackers, extremely. They look after you a lot with them.
Okay,
Chicken and sweet corn soup. Any thoughts?
What?
Chicken and sweet corn soup.
No.
What do you mean?
Sean's go-to.
Do you not
You
do...
hitting that?
Do you not...
I kick off every time.
Do you not do
See,
soup?
my mate Darcy gets the omelette.
I love the omelette.
Do you?
I'll put it in the mix. Yeah.
No, but you're out
not
for
eating
dinner.
an
You're not
omelette.
going to have an omelette,
No,
are you?
no, but like you get the omelette and then you cut it up and at the end of a Chinese meal, really, if you're going to mix it all together, it just becomes one, don't you? Or do you eat them in separate like spouts?
No.
Yeah, his first pick's an omelette. I'm not picking an omelette straight.
What's your first pick? What are you?
Szechuan. I'm going like
you
a
like a bit of
Szechuan
heat.
chicken or beef. Yeah, something hot.
A sneaky springy?
Yeah, I love a spring roll in there.
A money bag?
If you're eating in, do you
Loves the
use
money
chopsticks or a fork?
Look, if I was half decent at chopsticks, I'd probably have a crack at it, but I'm forking
A
it.
gardening trowel?
You got to go with the choppies, don't you?
Gotta go with the choppies.
My dad's got he usually will use it with a fork, but he's got those chopsticks for children that have got
the
joint on the top.
together. Yeah. Well, that's trying.
If you can
That's
get
at
me a
least
pair of those,
And literally, it's so embarrassing because I'm pretty sure the ones he uses got a silicone bear at the top.
Yes,
This is the Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast.
It's a massive day tomorrow,
Yeah.
sport-wise.
Double header at Nat. We've been
Yes.
talking about the Matildas World Cup qualifier final. Obviously, we're playing against
Quarterfinals.
France.
Yeah.
Quarterfinal.
We have dubbed this the Maturby.
Into
Maturby.
the Western Derby, that's right. And you know what you don't want to do? Cook.
Oh, my God, it's so disgusting.
Oh, no way. You want food to be brought to you.
Now, there's this company out there, I don't know if people know, it's Uber Eats. And
What do they do?
Uber Eats is basically they will take food from restaurants and then they will bring it to your house.
It's like magic.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
How do they
fun.
know where you live?
You type it into
You
a
tell
thing
them.
called an application. It's on the smartphones.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's great. We've got a $100 Uber Eats voucher up for grabs right now for somebody to cater their very own Maturby.
That's right. If you want to chow down on some dumplings whilst watching the Matildas, or
Yeah.
maybe some French food because they're playing France.
Well, why don't you just ring us and we'll just grab someone now and give it to them?
Yeah, sure. We are waiting. Our phone systems are. Oh, here we go. Let's
They're all-
pick.
they're all getting
Maybe
jammed.
let's try that one. Hello, Nova. Who's this?
Oh, my name's Angela.
Angela. You're
Hello,
on air
Angela.
with Nathan, Nat, and Sean right now, Angela.
How are you?
Oh, what? Am I?
Yes, we're not mucking around here, Ange.
You're on the radio.
What
Pretty
do you-
exciting stuff.
What are you doing tomorrow for the Matildas and the Western Derby?
Am I on the radio?
Yes.
What?
You're
No,
on
we're
the
live.
radio.
We're live. Ange, make the most of it, mate.
Ross, play some music so she understands she's on the radio. Just chuck something on there. So, there you go.
Oh, there we go.
There's a sound effect.
Yes,
there you
yeah,
go. Radio.
yeah. Ange, you know you called a
right,
radio
yeah.
station, right, Ange?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm watching the Matildas and I'm going to watch the Derby and go the Dockers.
So,
Yeah, come on, Ange.
Oh, hang up on her.
and it's my birthday as well.
So you're watching it at home or you're having people
And yeah,
around?
and it's my birthday on Sunday, so woohoo!
Well, we found the right person.
That's right.
Are you kidding me? We
No
are giving
way.
you a $100 Uber Eats voucher.
Oh my God, that is amazing.
Food's on us,
on,
Ange.
Ange.
You have a happy birthday
Anyway,
too.
prank.
Go the Tillies.
And still, am I on the radio?
I know.
Go the Dockers.
Go the Dockers.
Good on you, Ange.
Dawn.
Go the
That's
Dockers.
Okay, put her mic down. Thanks, Ange. Well done. Enjoy your birthday on Sunday.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
We've sacrificed one of Sean's children to the technical gods.
We did.
And so we're hoping, fingers crossed, that we have Pete Helliar, the other end of the line. Come in, Pete Helliar.
Hello.
Oh,
It
Am I on
worked.
air?
You know
Am I
what?
on air?
Yes, we are, but that's all we've got time for, Pete. We'll have to let you go now. Sorry.
It's so funny because earlier you had that lady
Angela.
who rang in, Angela,
Yeah.
and she wasn't sure if she was on air.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, I'm going to say that when I get on air, and now
Yes.
I'm actually saying it for real.
Yes.
I know what I love about Angela, which is so sweet, is that she thought that we were not on radio, just choosing to answer the phone together as a threesome and chat to people.
Did you guys actually call Angela yourself, or did she call in? I was
No,
pretty
she
sure
called
the way it
in.
works, she calls in,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
I know, magical. So you're headed our way for the weekend, Pete?
Yeah, I'm just working at a TripAdvisor for the Nova Melbourne studio. I mean, it's clean. It's just nobody knows how to work the buttons.
Hey, that is the newest redone one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Over
yeah,
in Melbourne.
that was
Is it nice?
It's very nice. It's very impressive, and
But nothing
everyone
works.
Was working hard. It got to the stage where I was suggesting ideas, buttons to press, which I should never do.
Absolutely.
But yes, I'm heading to Perth. I'm basically going from here to the airport, and away we go. Big shows tonight and tomorrow night.
Looking forward to always when you come over here, Pete. But you've been travelling like the king of the Mediterranean. So you were in Italy, getting amongst it for quite some time.
Yeah, funnily enough, I was hanging out with the king of the Mediterranean, actually. That was, he's a fun guy. He's a fun guy. Yeah, it's been a crazy year, actually, because I was in the jungle, and then I came back for a few weeks and continued to tour, and then went over to Europe and did some shows in London and hung out in Italy for a while.
It was
Sorry,
a
I'm
tax
gonna jump in.
deduction.
There's a
I
tax
know what you
deduction.
did. You and Tom Gleeson. You
went to the Ashes, didn't you?
Trip to the Ashes.
I plead the fifth. What was really weird about... So we did shows in London and then went to the first day of the tests at Lord's. And then I went to Paris the next day with the family and basically was on our way home after that. But I got an email from the wonderful Kathy Lett, who came to our shows, who I know, and she wrote Puberty Blues, is a legend, and quite the London socialite now, and she sent me a message with Tom on day 4, the morning of day 4, saying, I have one ticket, you guys can fight over it for day 5, go along with Stephen, you'll have some fun. And we had to say, well, we're in Paris, we can't, but thank you so much. It was very generous. And it was only then we realised who Stephen was. She was talking about Stephen Fry. I could have gone to day 5 of that particular, Johnny Bairstow gate thumping test with the president of the MCC and comic hero and idol, Stephen Fry.
And on top of that, Paris is like a 2-hour train ride from London.
I know.
Like, come on, you could have ditched the family.
I know, and that's an easier conversation to have with everyone in the world, bar my wife.
But the thing about this, though, is if you're going to use, Stephen's going to be there, you can only use the first name if it's Adele or Madonna. Like, you've got to give context. You've got to give the Fry at the end.
Yeah,
so you
there's
can
a
make,
lot more
you can make an
Stephens.
educated decision.
I know. I mean, I thought it was Spielberg, so I was like, no.
What's he ever done?
Yeah.
Hey, have you, Pete, when you do your comedy around Australia, do you localise it a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I try to. What happens is the show kind of builds and builds, so you have to kind of go, how much do I want to do local stuff, and what do I take out to do that local stuff?
Yep.
So, I'll arrive in Perth and I'll get to the stage. I mean, they'll probably talk about the Matildas, to be honest.
Sure.
At the moment. I mean, that's... And what a double header! I know you're talking up the double header of the Matildas into the
Derby.
18th versus 15th derby,
Yes.
Derby that you're excited about.
It's the match of the round.
Match of the round, the one game that has no significance for the final 8. So why not? If you're going to miss a derby, why not miss it this year and come to my show after the Matildas beat France? What a double header!
That's a double header.
And look, everyone is up and about about Matildas and they're excited, but here in Perth we were excited about something something else way more than that, and that was the space junk that washed up on the beach. And I really do think it's a missed opportunity if you don't explore that as...
Well, what's going, Nathan? We've had space junk washing up the beach. We had a meteorite in Melbourne the other night.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
This is
the end of the world is
it's coming.
It's close.
It's coming, and I'm fully prepared for
Nathan's
the apocalypse. I know where I live, just around the corner from a gunsmith.
He's got a box with a torch in it.
And I know now what helicopters run on unleaded fuel.
You can't fly one, but you know what fuel.
A helicopter, let's be honest, and helicopter pilots that are listening, it's not that hard, really, is it? You just turn it on and you just pull the joystick up.
I like people who make plans. You always got to make plans in your own head. It's like, I already have a plan.
Well,
if I because I often try to nominate the exit row on a plane so I can sit in there, and they give you the big talk.
Yes.
Will you help out in the emergency? And I look them straight in the eye and I say, bloody oath, I will help out.
Yes.
Let's be honest, I'm not sure if I will.
To be honest, if I was in that scenario, I would close the door behind me once I got out.
I am there for the extra leg room. I'm not there for the door, to be honest. But I know, I've worked out that the black box, basically, that just records audio. So as long as you just shut the hell up and don't panic and yell out, I'm not helping, I'm finishing my book, back off.
They won't know it's you. Yeah, that you caused everyone's death.
You got to plan ahead.
That is preparation at its finest. Oh, that's great. Pete, when you were doing the family stuff, do you get to a point where everyone was over each other when you were cruising around?
Oh, I thought you were talking about my comedy. Do you get to the point where your wife says, enough? No, not really. There are times our kids, two of them came, and my oldest is 20. He stayed behind. He had uni, and so my 18-year-old and 14-year-old were with us. And what was quite lovely about it, we could go out for dinner, and then the kids would get bored eventually, and they would just go back. My 18-year-old would take the 14-year-old back to the room, and we would stay out for cocktails. So it was kind of ideal. We're at that ideal age to, they can have a bit of freedom, we can have a bit of freedom. So it was pretty good.
Yeah, that's the right age. See, Sean, your 22-year-old still went on the family holiday and you paid for it, right?
Yeah, I'm okay with that as long as he's there. But what I didn't, at some stage I was thinking, he's going to shout me a beer or two. And one stage I stung him down at the beach, when you're buying beers off the beach. And I didn't have any money on him, on myself on purpose. And I said, oh, mate, can you get this? So he paid for it. It was about 27 Australian dollars. So anyway, fast forward an hour later, we're out for dinner. And he said, Dad, you got that money?
You know what it is? I think it's probably, what would it be? It may be late 20s, maybe early 30s when you realise that your parents have money from working for it as well. You know what I mean? And then suddenly you go, oh, wait, that's how they get it. They go to work too. Okay, well, maybe I should shout something here and there. It's when reality hits.
I'm at this weird age now. Well, my kids are at a weird age. Like a 20-year-old and 18-year-old, both are working now. Yeah. And they will come home and buy their own drinks. And the other night I was at the stage where I had to go to one of my boys and say, can I have one of your beers, please? It's weird that I'm asking my kids for, can I buy one of your beers? Just one.
Amazing. Yeah. You'll never be able to do Sean, because their beers are your beers.
Yeah, 100%.
And this is the sad thing about all parents listening right now. You're all going, ha, ha, ha. You're going to pay for this child until they die. That's the climate we're in.
That is so true.
And I talk about it in the show. Yeah. You got to enjoy, though, when your kids are toddlers, you got to enjoy that, because what we have now, because basically when we had toddlers in our house, we ran our house like North Korea. It was like a dictatorship. This is when we're eating. This is when we're going to bed. This is where we're going on holiday. Now
this is the government accepted haircut.
So now do they think they have a say now?
Yeah, there's been an uprising. Like there's insurgents in the house. They question the regime.
Yes.
All I wanted for my birthday this year was a seafood paella. But because my oldest boy doesn't eat fish because of the overfishing of the ocean, I got negotiated down to a margarita from Domino's.
No!
Not good enough.
No! Damn your kids and their principles, by the way.
I know. I never taught him that about the overfishing, by the way.
Nobody needs that in their life.
I should have homeschooled him.
Yeah, exactly. Pete's show is called Deconstructed Origami. It's at Oasis Comedy Club, top little venue at the Brisbane Hotel, 6:30 tonight and tomorrow. So that is after the Matildas. Ticksfromcomedy.com.au.
Now, Pete, what time does your flight land at Perth Airport so people can pap you? What time is that?
Absolutely. I've already notified them, but if I have to to do it again, I will. I think I'll get in about 3.
Yeah.
I'll see you there.
I am thinking you probably won't be in the emergency exit row anymore. You might have shot that in the forge.
If anybody from the airline was listening, they're just jokes.
Jokes. He's a comedian, everybody.
I'm going to help out, of course I am.
Pretty obvious. Thanks, Pete. Love your work.
And the people that, if you don't, the people won't ever be able to say anything.
No, exactly.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast.
Well done, us two. We got through it. Next week on the show, we're going to catch up with Ross Noble. He's going to drop by. Always a wild ride whenever he's in town.
We're going to go on exploration of science next week.
Yeah, we are.
That's right. Lab assistance
It's a chance to win 5K.
for SciTech.
That's amazing.
How good is that?
So, if you've got a smart friend in your world, I'd hit them up for next week.
Look around
Yeah.
at who your smartest
Yeah.
friends are. Just
Yeah.
start taking stock now because
Yeah.
you might need to know. All right, we're out.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.